On July 29th, SK Hynix reported the best quarter in its history. Revenue up 257%. Operating profit up 557%, a 76% margin most companies will never touch. Investors sold the stock anyway. It fell to its lowest price since going public on Nasdaq just 3 weeks earlier. Meanwhile, Micron just told Wall Street its entire 2026 memory supply is already sold out. Every gigabyte spoken for, 2 memory giants. One record quarter the market punished, one company that can't build chips fast enough. Today, Micron versus SK Hynix, who actually wins the HBM4 crisis. We're targeting 1,000 likes on this video, so if you value institutional research, drop a like right now to help the algorithm and hit subscribe if you're new here. I am not a financial advisor. This video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Always do your own research before making any investment decisions. Let's set the stage first, because the numbers only make sense once you understand the environment. In May 2026, global semiconductor sales hit $120.6 billion for the month, according to the Semiconductor Industry Association, up 9.2% from April, and more than double what it was in May of last year. That's not a typo. Chip sales have effectively doubled year over year. The single biggest driver of that number is memory, specifically high bandwidth memory, or HBM, the specialized chips that sit directly next to AI processors and feed them data at extreme speed. Here's the part mainstream financial media isn't explaining clearly enough. HBM4, the next generation standard, is completely sold out for all of 2026 across the 3 companies that make it: SK Hynix, Samsung, and Micron. Every wafer already has a customer's name on it. Nvidia's next flagship AI platform, Vera Rubin, depends entirely on this chip. And industry estimates suggest the supply shortfall could still run around 40%, even by the end of 2027, with new factory capacity not meaningfully helping until 2027 or later. That's the world these 2 companies are operating in. Now let's break down the numbers, one company at a time. First, Micron, ticker MU. As of the last close, Micron was trading around $823, well off its 52-week high of $1,255, but still up roughly 685% over the past year. That kind of move alone tells you how violently the market has re-rated this company. Here's why. On June 24th, Micron reported fiscal third quarter results that stunned even bullish analysts. Revenue, $41.46 billion versus a Wall Street estimate of about $35.8 billion, revenue up 346% year over year. Earnings per share came in at $25.11, blowing past estimates near $20.49. Data center revenue alone crossed $25 billion for the quarter. The stock jumped as much as 15% in after-hours trading on the print. Now here's the forward-looking part that matters most. Micron guided the current quarter to approximately $50 billion in revenue, against a street estimate of just $43.6 billion, with gross margin expected near 86%. CEO Sanjay Mehrotra told analysts the current supply tightness is, in his words, locked in to persist beyond calendar 2027. On the product side, Micron has been shipping its 36GB 12-high HBM4 modules in high volume since the first quarter of 2026, purpose-built for Nvidia's next-generation Vera Rubin platform. The company has also signed 16 long-term strategic customer agreements worth roughly $100 billion in minimum contracted revenue, meaning a large chunk of Micron's future sales are already locked in on paper, regardless of what happens to spot memory pricing. Wall Street's response has been almost uniformly bullish. 40 analysts currently rate the stock a buy, 0 rated a sell, and the average 12-month price target sits around $1,269, implying meaningful upside even after this run. The risk here is straightforward: valuation and cyclicality. Micron has historically been one of the most boom-bust businesses in semiconductors, and a stock up nearly 700% in a year leaves very little room for disappointment. Now, across the Pacific, there's a company that just had an even bigger quarter, and the market reacted in exactly the opposite way. SK Hynix, which now trades on the Nasdaq under the ticker SKHY after a landmark listing on July 10th, is Nvidia's single largest HBM supplier, and by most measures the world leader in HBM revenue share, controlling somewhere in the high 50% range of the global market. That Nasdaq debut itself was historic. SK Hynix priced its American depository receipts at $149 a share, raising about $26.5 billion, the largest first-time U.S. share sale ever completed by a foreign company. 3 weeks after that debut, on July 29th, SK Hynix reported second quarter results. Revenue, 79.3 trillion Korean won, roughly $54 billion, up 257% year over year. Operating profit, 60.5 trillion won, about $41.6 billion, up 557% year over year for a 76% operating margin. By any measure, the best numbers in the company's history. And the stock still fell nearly 9% on the news, hitting a new all-time low for the ADR. Why? Operating profit came in slightly below analyst expectations of around 64 trillion won, and the earnings landed the same week as several unrelated shocks: a competing Chinese memory IPO and renewed market anxiety over whether AI infrastructure spending broadly might be peaking. SK Hynix pushed back on that narrative directly on the call, pointing to HBM4 mass production beginning that same quarter, with a full ramp planned for the second half of the year. On the balance sheet, SK Hynix is sitting on close to 88 trillion won in cash, with net cash of 69.4 trillion won and a debt-to-equity ratio of just 7%. Analyst reaction since earnings has been mixed but leaning bullish. Barclays trimmed its price target to $300 from $330, while UBS initiated coverage with a buy rating. The broader analyst consensus still sits around an 85% buy rating. The risk with SK Hynix right now is sentiment and pricing power, not fundamentals. This is a company posting record profit that the market is actively discounting, which tells you the AI memory trade has become more about what happens in 2027 and 2028 than what already happened this quarter. Both of these companies exist because of one customer above all others: Nvidia. Nvidia's next earnings call is scheduled for August 26th, covering the fiscal quarter that ended July 26th, and it will be the single most important data point for confirming whether this memory supercycle is accelerating or plateauing. Just weeks ago, Nvidia and SK Group announced a strategic initiative valued at more than $500 billion tied to long-term HBM4 supply for the Vera Rubin platform. Analysts currently rate Nvidia a strong buy, with an average price target north of $300. But we've already covered Nvidia's own numbers in depth in an earlier video, so we won't repeat that breakdown here. What matters for this comparison is simple. Whatever Nvidia says on August 26th about GPU demand moves both Micron and SK Hynix. So, Micron versus SK Hynix. Here's the honest framing. These two aren't really competing to win the same race. They're running two versions of the same monopoly. SK Hynix has the deeper, longer relationship with Nvidia and the larger share of the current HBM market. It is, today, the incumbent leader. Micron is the faster-growing challenger, locking in unprecedented long-term contracts and putting up growth numbers that are arguably even more dramatic on a percentage basis, precisely because it's coming from a smaller base. If you want exposure to the company that already has the biggest slice of the HBM pie today, that's SK Hynix. If you want exposure to the company Wall Street believes has the most room left to re-rate, and whose stock has reacted far more favorably to good news lately, that's leaning Micron. Neither is the safer choice. Both are the same trade wearing different tickers. A bet that the AI memory shortage lasts well beyond 2027. Before you do anything with this information, here are the risks numbered plainly. Risk 1, memory is cyclical. Every supercycle in this industry's history has eventually ended, usually followed by a painful price collapse. Nothing here is different in principle, only in scale. Risk 2, both stocks have already run hard. Micron is up roughly 685% over the past year. SK Hynix is up over 160% year to date, even after its post-earnings sell-off. That leaves very little margin for a disappointing quarter. Risk 3, customer concentration. A huge share of demand for both companies flows through a small number of hyperscalers and through Nvidia specifically. If Nvidia's August 26th update disappoints, both stocks likely fall together, not independently. Risk 4, ADR structure. SK Hynix trades as a US ADR with a premium to its Korean shares, adding a layer of valuation complexity that doesn't exist with a straightforward US company like Micron. These aren't reasons to panic. There are reasons to know exactly what you own before you own it. That's the breakdown. Micron and SK Hynix, two sold-out memory giants, one brutal earnings paradox, and a shortage neither company says is ending anytime soon. If this helped you understand the HBM4 story better than the headlines did, hit that like button. I'm aiming for 1,000 likes on this one. Drop a comment and tell me which one you'd put your research time into first. Micron or SK Hynix? I read every comment, and if you're not subscribed yet, now's the time. Hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell. I'm John A.G. I'll see you in the next one.